What's up YouTube, it's your boy Barcode. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about limited summons, how long to save them for, and what heroes to use them on. If you like the content, you know what to do. Hit that sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's get to it. Alright, a new batch of limited summons are out, so I wanted to do a video showcasing which heroes to actually use them on. A lot of people get trapped and look at only the legendary heroes, but that's not when you summon, especially for free to play. You need to look at the epic characters that come up every rotation. I'm going to tell you the top 10 heroes to pick from and to watch on that list. Two key things you really need to know about limited summons, especially as free to play. You need to make sure if you're going to pop your limited summons that the rotation doesn't have any of the synthesis heroes or any of the heroes that are in the shop. Unless they're there and you really want a hero that's on the list, it would just be a bonus. But I'm going to tell you which heroes to actually look for that. First and foremost, the synthesis heroes. When you got Xanthus, Harkin, Vance, and Magnar, since free-to-play resources are so limited, you definitely don't want to spend the limited summons on characters like these that are gonna be already easy to synthesize. You can get these for free just by summoning and playing the game. You should already definitely be focusing on Xanthus and Harkin anyway. Also, you do not need to summon in limited summons for Hugh, Harbeg, if you really want to build him. But anyway, and Andre. Hugh is awesome for PvP. Andre is an amazing damage dealer. Harbeg is just weird. But these heroes you don't need to get through limited summons either, because over time doing trials you can get them here. I'm currently working on Andre right now, as you saw in the last video. He hits like a champ. You also do not need to summon for a rock. You can get 20 of his pieces every week. Over time, you will be able to get him maxed out as free just through Event Shop. I already bought the one-time 60 pieces. My rock's already 3-star, and he's probably going to be my next 6-star. Now that those key notes are out of the way, let's talk about the top 10 epic heroes that you save these limited summons for. If you see one of these heroes, and you also see a legendary character that you really want, especially Gangelo, but even if it's somebody like Brand, or Blackhorn, or whatever the case may be, just make sure to focus on these epic heroes. I'm going to go with the top 3 wood, fire, and water heroes. And really, these are the top 9 anyway. It just so happened to come out 3 of each element. And now I'm going to do a 10th as an optional unit, but it also depends on what you have. Let's start with wood. Arendelle, an amazing single target nuker. And because the shop doesn't really have any good single target nukers except for Vance. Vance is good, but he's very situational. He shines like in Queen speed runs if you're going to go straight for the boss or something like that. But that's like later on when we have like all 6 stars and great gear. Anyway, Arendelle, awesome single target nuker. His trait at the 2nd star ascension gives 5% crit per rage that you have. But if you already build him with 100% rage, he then gets crit damage. So when you have max rage of 10, you can get an extra 50% crit damage at full max rage. Now, for some reason you do have full max rage at 10 stacks and use his ultimate, the damage is increased by 5% per rage. So it's 50% damage increase, 50% crit damage, and it's a huge nuke. Also, his 2nd skill gives him bonus attacks on the enemy. Whenever an ally crits, he then launches a bonus attack. That'll give him 1 rage as well. And then his single target is a defense break, which is great, and it grants him 2 rage. Seeing his ultimate is on a 4-turn cooldown, you run him with a nuke team that all crit, really good damage dealer. Edicris, he's great in a lot of different places, but what really makes him shine is his ascensions. His 2nd ascension gives him a huge damage increase, or if his health is low, gives a huge damage reduction. He has an AoE which also gives him invincibility. He removes his negative effects and can heal himself. He can also strip enemy buffs and has a chance to attack all enemies once again. I think he's really underlooked. He's really good for trials, PvP, and even PvE. The poison boy, Gajar. You know what he does? He detonates all poisons. If you have a poison team comp, you definitely want to save for him. His trait is meh, and probably could be a better trait, but it's still decent with resistance down. But his single target attack also applies a poison and a focus down, which is good. But his ultimate just shines, especially in a poison comp. On to fire. Now mind you, while we're here, there's other epic characters that are really good. But if you can get them in the shop, or you get them synthesized, there's still other heroes that will trump others. Even if they're good, there's still better options. Like for example here, Asrina is really good. But Asrina gets trumped by someone who does pretty much the same thing. And this is one of the characters that you really should look for in limited summons. And that's Scarlet. Now we all know poison comps, but she is your bleed queen. It takes 5 ascensions to get her second trait, but her second trait is huge. All enemies take 50% more damage from bleeds. She also has her wolf. Anytime someone attacks the enemy that has a bleed, the wolf then attacks as well. The wolf can also apply a bleed. Her basic attack's a bleed. Her ultimate is a bleed and summons the wolf again if the wolf is dead. And also her wolf will die before she does. I would really only use Scarlet until you get that second ascension up, which is at 5 stars. Next up is Jacob. Jacob is an awesome single target nuker, and he also supports your team with the damage breaks. His ultimate is awesome. I just love watching him. I currently just 6-starred him the other day, but he takes so many turns. You match him up with a William. He also selects one of your allies, and whenever they attack, you get a bonus attack. And it's all about the intrigue debuff that he applies. It's a max of 20 stacks on the enemy, and each stack lowers their defense by 20. You can also apply a defense break as well, even after the 20 stacks. His trait is just stealth, which is meh, whatever. AoE damage knocks it out anyway. But he can permanently grant it. But really just ascending him at higher levels gives him more damage, more survivability. He's an awesome character for especially PvE bosses. Last but not least is Thomas. Thomas is really good in long sustained fights with a healer. His trait is whenever his health goes below 50%, he does 5% bonus damage to the enemy's max HP. He can also remove enemy buffs if that's situational, obviously. But anytime an ally gets attacked, he also has a 50% chance to perform a counterattack, which can be huge if he's below 50%. His ultimate is really good too. It applies a defense break 2, which is minus 50% defense. 200% modifier, and it's huge damage, especially when he's all built up. On to water. A lot of really good picks here in water, but I did limit it down to 3. Natalya, the best Ash dungeon hero in the game. Every positive effect this character has, the abilities affect 1 extra enemy. She applies attack up and immune on herself, so that's 2. She also applies a random stat up on her basic skill, which is 3, so that's 4 enemies. You add something like a Blackhorn for a heal over time, or a Connor for a shield. You're hitting 5 enemies. And in Ash, all you gotta do is just make her use her first skill, gives her random stats up every turn, so she'll always have a stat up, and you just go to town. Definitely someone you should look for. Plus her trait, when you get her ascended, every positive effect she has, the abilities also damaged increase by 10%. And that's for each buff. Second, William, obviously. William's awesome. Everyone should look for him. AoE defense break on his ultimate. Defense up on 1 single target on your team, but counterattack for your whole team. A joint attack on this basic skill, which I wish that worked on counterattacks as well, but meh. But really, it's all about the combat prowess trait. At Ascension of 2, the basic abilities of all team members deal 80% more damage, which is just amazing. You all know William. At least get him the 2-star. And the 9th hero is Myla. You get Myla from the newbie event of your account, right? But I've been using her a ton at level 60. She can hit really hard for 1, especially if you have an armor breakup, and then you have like a Virgil or something like that with a silence. So that's 2 debuffs, and then her ultimate deals more damage the more negative effects is on the enemies, right? Not only that, so she does more damage with more debuffs on the enemy, but also her trait, which gives a more higher chance to freeze the more negative effects there are on the enemies. When you ascend her as well, that chance to freeze goes up. This is good in PvE, this is good in PvP. She has a defense break on the first skill, she has a shield on her second skill, and all 3 of these attacks have a chance to freeze. I feel like Myla's overlooked a lot. I don't see her out in an arena or anything like that too much. I have her on my defense and my offense. I definitely think she's overlooked because she's a bonus newbie starter character. But she's awesome and she has high base attack stats. But really getting her Ascension up is what's key. All right, so that's the top 9. One more just to make it an even 10. And you really only want to get this hero only if you have Scarlet at 5-star Ascension. And that's Helmar. Helmar is like your Gajar. If you have Gangello and you have Gajar, the equivalent for the poison team is Scarlet and Helmar. Helmar applies so many bleeds on his first skill, also his second skill, and also his trait gives him a bonus attack, which his special ability, which is 50% bonus attack, but his special ability, which can apply a bleed again, and if the enemy's already bleeding, you can add an extra stack of bleeding, and then his ultimate detonates all bleeding effects. So if you have Scarlet at 5-star Ascension, Helmar is your next choice. Alright, so this limited summon session right here, it just opened up. Would you summon on it? Me, I am summoning on it. Yes, there's Andre, Harkin, and Hugh here. 3 characters you can get either from the shop or synthesis. However, that is fine because Hugh and Andre both, they're on the trial shop. So really, if I get one of them, I'm going to speed up the process to get the other. Also, if I get Harkin, that's fine because Harkin is probably one of the best epics in the game. That just makes him more tanky, and I'm okay with that. Scarlet is here as well as Esrina. Scarlet, in my opinion, is better, but Esrina is still really good. So if I get a dupe of her, that's fine. There may be a dungeon along the ways that ignites are better, but ignites and bleeds are pretty much the same thing. So I'm summoning on this limited summon for you. I got 487 tokens. That's 9 summons. Hopefully I get at least one epic. Sierra, Balbareth, and Avera are here as the legendary characters. I'll take either one of those 3, that's fine. But I'm not really worried about it. I really want a Scarlet, or 2, or 3. My Scarlet's only at 1 star right now, and I really want to make a bleed team. But here we go, let's go one at a time, because I don't have 10. And it's not starting off good. We got a Rajago. We got an Ana. Oh, here we go. Here's an epic. Let's go, baby. Come on. Give me that Scar. I'll take an Andre too, because I'm already building Andre. Just give me something good, baby. Come on. Oh, I'll take a legendary, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's keep going. All right, Kaluk. I need that on my elite only account. Rourke. Looks like all we're getting is a legendary today. Looks like all we're getting. Oh, one more. Come on, baby. Come on. Last one. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, I take a legendary, but I'll take an Andre or a Scarlet or something. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Arendelle. Nice. All right. He's good too. I already have one. So that'll be, I need one more to get him to his ascension of his second trait. One of the top 10. I like it. And that's it for today's video. Comment down below if you agree or if there's somebody you think should be in the top 10 as well. I'm all about constructive criticism. So let's discuss. If you like the content, you know what to do. Sub, like, ding, ding, bell. See you in the next one. Peace.